And as a global citizen, I am an environmentalist because there is a moral imperative that we tackle climate change and that we make sure that we leave a world that is better than the one that we inherit. And if I were simply here to tell you what you wanted to hear, I would tell you that the central theme of my campaign is going to be about the environment. But those of you who know me, who have worked with me in the State House, know that I am not that kind of politician. Over the last few months, I've heard from Vermonters all across the state. And these Vermonters have said, I am scared for my economic future. They have been laid off. They have a grandchild who has been cut from full-time to one-quarter-time. Their spouse has been sent to Afghanistan at 1/3 of their income, and they have had to quit their job in order to take care of the kids full-time. They are scared, and the central piece of this campaign is going to be jobs and economic development. And I have spent my entire career, whether it was 11 years in the legislature, helping to build a software company in Vermont, at AmeriCorps Vista, working for people trying to build the middle class, or my current job at Google, all about creating jobs and economic development in a strategic way. And we are at a dangerous point, those of us who consider ourselves environmentalists and recognize the kind of issues that Pat has just talked about, because there are forces out there who will try to divide us, who will try to say that it's an either-or proposition, and if you listen to people from crazy places like Vermont Law School, and from places like Burlington, and from places like Intervale, that you're not going to help your economic security. And they're going to do that, and they're going to try. But what I know, and in fact it's from people who are here in this very room who have educated me over time, is that not only do we not have to have a choice between economic development and jobs and the environment, that the fact is that for us as a state to turn the economic corner is dependent on us becoming a leader, getting ahead of the curve, leading the rest of the nation in new economy jobs that are based on the commitment to carbon neutrality, that are based on the movement towards renewable energy, that are based on sustainable agriculture. It is absolutely imperative if we're going to create jobs that we focus on that area and that we move forward with it together. My work over the last few years at Google has given me exposure to some of the most extraordinary innovations in the clean energy arena. Most people know Google for that little search engine that you may have used once or twice, but in fact, Google is directly invested in next generation energy, deep geothermal, high altitude wind, the ability to use solar in a new way that is 10, 20 times as efficient. And it's inspiring to see the work that's been going on around the country in investment. But there's nothing like spending some time outside of the state for a little while to realize that we have all the tools right here to lead the way in just that kind of innovation. We have the sense of community, we have the values, we have the sense of innovation, we have the Yankee frugality to lead forward in investment in our universities and colleges, to be the leaders in this area. We have the ability to lead by example, by public investment in district heating, and using our sun and wind to be able to show the rest of the nation what it can mean. Efficiency Vermont is a perfect example. We led with a great policy, with a great outcome. They are now exporting those Vermont-created ideas across the country, bringing money in, and creating jobs. We can do that again. Because the fact is, we have the brand to be able to do this. We have the people to be able to do this. We can be the first carbon-neutral state. We can be the Center for Research and Innovation in green technology and sustainable agriculture. We can walk the walk as the state, be environment, innovation, and new economy jobs. Thank you. Current use is critical to our state. It is called current use because it's about the use value, not the highest developed, paved over value of our property. We have to keep it, and as pressure continues to build, as more people discover Vermont and want to come up, and there is economic growth, which we hope to see, the pressure on the value of that farm and forest land is only going to go up, and if you undermine current use, you're going to undermine that offset to that pressure that's going to come in. But I will tell you right now, and this gets to how I would look for those kinds of savings which have been mandated, which if I were governor would not have been mandated to begin with. But the fact is there is a reputation problem right now with current use, not in this room, but around the state. And I believe that it is important that those of us that care about it the most are also about making sure there is proper enforcement. There are individuals, because we do not work with landowners, we do not invest in going out and talking to them, where they are receiving the benefit of current use without making sure that it is a sustainable part of the agriculture and forestry economy of the state, according to the plans that they have set up. And that creates tension, and that creates negativity within small communities. The other piece that I believe, and this may be controversial, is that those who benefit from current use need to make their land accessible to people for recreational purposes. They can take out any motorized vehicles. They can say, no, we do not want to have any hunting on our property. But if you are being able to receive current use benefits, the people of the state of Vermont should have the ability to hike and recreate and have that be common land for all people to be able to use and enjoy. Those two things will go more towards the long-term sustainability of the current use program, because it will no longer be an us versus them scenario. This was a great bill, and anyone who was surprised that there was going to be 4 times the amount of requests that would come in is clearly not paying attention to Vermont. We have the values, and we have the leading innovators in this space, and of course there was going to be many more than 50 megawatts of demand that come in, especially with an aggressive bill like that. And actually, with all due respect to the Secretary of State, this isn't the first state that's done this. And it gets back to the fact that we are not leading the nation in these kinds of efforts. In my work at Google, we have actually engaged with states all across the country that have been at the leading edge of this. And one of the more stunning things to me was that a state that's not known for its environmental prowess, South Carolina, beat us to getting this kind of legislation put forward. We need to increase this aggressively. We need